All right, YouTube family. I'm in the fight chair. Let me get my glasses off, get that reflection done. I'm back in the fight chair. Oh man, I'm excited, pumped as always. Got a good night's sleep last night. Back in the fight chair. Now, as I said before, Kimbo Slice would beat Dada 5000. I call it. I said Kimbo had more experience. I said Kimbo been through more fight. I said Kimbo was more rounded. And I said when you go into those long, deep rounds, experience and endurance would come in. Now, don't get me wrong. Let me back up. The cardio of those two guys, how should I say this? I'm on the internet. They can't come and get me. It was horrible. That cardio was gross. But let me explain why. And Big John McCarthy, good job in the ring. I respect you for that. See, Dada 5000 weighed in at 263 or 265. Kimbo weighed in at 235. No, you watch the fight 5 times like I did, 5 times. You will see that Dada 5000 was putting his body weight on top of Kimbo. See, Dada 5000, because he's unskilled, he was trying to go for the guillotine, but did not know to execute the guillotine choke properly, okay? So each time he tried to go for the guillotine choke, Kimbo reached underneath him and lifted him off his toes, and he got scared and eased up. Once he had had the head locked in, he should have bent his back, arch his back, pull up, and dig it in under the throat, cut oxygen off the wind. As I'm talking, you could actually hear my voice go down because the oxygen is being cut off my windpipe. See, cut the oxygen off the windpipe and pull up, and then that starts the process of choking the person out on their feet in the guillotine or dropping him to the ground. So because Kimbo kept reaching under and picking Dada 5000 up, his body weight was directly on top of Kimbo, and that wore Kimbo out. Now, if you watch rounds 2 to 3, you can see Dada 5000 holding Kimbo down on the ground, and Kimbo literally dragging Dada 5000 across the mat with his legs to the fence. So these guys, somebody been showing them how to get some decent ground game going. So for those people who say this fight sucked, you got to understand, if you're a person who like MMA and you're on the fence or you're new to the sport, that would be a spectacular fight for you because a lot of it was stand-up. Big John McCarthy realized that Dada 5000 was not trying to fight. He was trying to pull the rope up, trying to use his body weight and Kimbo. And that's why Big John McCarthy kept standing them up, kept breaking up the clinches and saying, work, you gotta work, you gotta work, you gotta fight. In other words, he said, Big John was like, no, you're not going to come in here and use your body weight to slow the other guy from fighting. You're going to come in here and you're going to work for that win. And Big John said like 5 times, you got to work, you got to work, you got to work. He just kept saying over and over again, you got to work, you got to work. So Dada 5000 was putting his body weight on top of Kimbo constantly. I like the fact that he did the body weight. He also tried to do a weird thing. And big guys have done this to me before, where not only they're on their backs, but they try to squeeze the oxygen out of you and mess your breathing up and wear you down. So Kimbo was literally carrying that 365 pound or 265 pound from this big mass of chicken and watermelon eating blubber around. And I can say that because I'm black and everybody watermelon chicken, so that shouldn't come across as racist. You know, I have to put these like things in for trolls that try to troll my video, but you get the point I'm making. That's a big boy, and Kimbo was literally carrying him around. Okay, so both of them gassed out because of their approach and the fact that they're fighting in a way that they're not used to fighting. If you're gonna fight with grappling and wrestling and clinching and ground, you gotta have endurance. Grappling and picking up another guy, going through moves, breaking his arm, pushing it back, that take a lot, that sap a lot of energy out of you. Don't, no mistake about it. And then when you're throwing haymakers and you miss, that burn a lot of your energy out of you. So naturally, that would have happened. So for me, I think it was a spectacular fight. Those guys gave it the best they could. All right. So where I left off at round one was spectacular. They came out good. Dada 5,000 had a good game plan. Work Kimbo down with the body weight. Work on his legs. A lot of knees to the legs in the clinch. He tried to go for the guillotine choke. Could not get the guillotine choke because he's inexperienced. That's acceptable. Kimbo Slice took advantage of Dada 5,000 inexperience by every time he went for the guillotine, Kimbo would pick him up. I like the fact that Dada 5,000 charged out crazily and was throwing wild punches like he's on the street, reverting back to his rope fighting or cage fighting days. And Kimbo picked him up and slammed him in the ground, saying, "Hey, this is MMA, baby. You're not going to do that and get away with it." Ha ha! Loved it. So Kimbo picks him up, wham, into the ground. He realized it's for real now. It's for real now. They get up, they're fighting. I did notice now round three. Now I'm moving into round three now real good. Big John, the referee, did a good job of breaking them up and keeping the fight going. And one of the things that I like that Big John did is that, I mean, Bellator is good about this, and I appreciate that. Okay, if that was a UFC, that guy, Dean Herb, the fantastic, wonderful Dean Herb, would have let them go on grappling. But Big John wasn't having that slow stuff. He broke it up and said, "You got to work. You're not going to use your body weight. You're not going to cruise. You're going to work and give us a good fight." And he made that happen. So, salute to you, Big John. So, no, round three. I loved round three. Round three, literally, after Dada 5,000 body weight was rested on Kimbo so much, he literally just fell to the ground. Boom. And after he fell to the ground, Dada 5,000 tried to do the underarm hook rollover. They don't work. Kimbo rolled that joker over and got on top of him, weak as ever. Big John was like, "Oh, come on." So then Kimbo realized this ground thing wasn't work for me. Dada is exhausted. Let me get up off him, get him on his feet where I can take him out. And that's when Kimbo start thinking. I mean, you watch that fight, guys, and you're thinking, "Hey, this is not UFC quality. This is not even any kind of mixed martial arts quality." But you got to understand, you got to meet these guys at their skill level where they are and their fan base and what a person that's just getting acclimated to the sport sees by watching these people. They're like a what's it called? When you buy a product, phase one product, when somebody's interested in a new product, it's in the market. Okay, let's cruise tablets. When those first came out, the first model from Walmart were dirt cheap, and they were horrible. Then the second set were a little more decent, and now they're really good. Now, if you're like me, who was used to the Samsung or the iPad, when you bought that cruise tablet, you was pissed. You didn't want it, you threw it away or whatever. But you never had a cruise tablet before or any kind of tablet, and you're a kid and you bought that, it served the purpose, then you buy another one, then you get more use of the product, and then at some point you like cruise tablets. But I never liked them, and I never buy them. And the cruise people can't sue me. That's not liability. That's my personal experience using their tablets. It sucked, and I didn't like it. Okay? That's why I went back, and I'm back with my iPad now, period. And I will use the Android tablet. I'll never use a cruise tablet. Now, enough of that ranting. Now, where was I? So here it is now. Towards the end, Kimbo start thinking, "Hey, I can get this guy on his feet. I can take him. We're both exhausted. All I have to do is conserve my energy and strike properly." So they were on their feet now. Bang, bang, they're banging. Kimbo is throwing punches. And I noticed Dada 5,000. I can't believe this. He tried to pull the Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope. He stood up against the cage and he's calling Kimbo, "Come on, come on, come on." They're both, see, at this point, they're both thinking, the other guy's more tired than me. We're both tired. Our cardio is shot. It's only a matter of seeing who drops to the feet first. So what does Kimbo do? Kimbo goes up against the cage and start putting the heat on him. Then Dada realizes, hey, the rope-a-dope worked for Muhammad Ali because he was moving and he had his hands up and he was bobbing and weaving. I'm not even moving. I'm just standing here, boop, 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 taking some shots. But here's what happened. If you look at the fight, round 3, as Dada walks out, his eyes are wide open. His pupil is dilated. He's already he's been tapped. He's been tagged real hard. He's walking around almost already. He's knocked out on his feet. One of those hits that Kimbo threw, and his pupils are dilated so big, he's knocked out on his feet. Okay, he's going and going. Kimbo is tired. Kimbo did a wild overhand swing. Dada 5,000. But after being hit so much time, he's been hit so many times. The guy steps back, and then boom, collapses. Spectacular. Kimbo walks over, puts his hands over. He said they interviewed him and said he won. But the point I'm trying to make, guys, don't judge them based on what it's the regular standard that you used to. These two guys are two street fighters. They're just getting their MMA skills together. That's the best they had to offer, and they put their heart into it. Everybody's saying, oh, the fight sucked. No, it didn't suck. It was great. As a fighter and a fight fan, I loved it because those guys are street fighters. They took the tools and the training that they know and they applied it. And I'm pretty proud of Dada 5,000, even though I think he has still a long way to go. I saw him stamping on Kimbo's foot. I saw him striking the leg. He did two things. He struck, he had an inside knee leg strike to Dada's, to Kimbo's right leg, and afterwards immediately stepped on his foot. And that's why you saw Kimbo limping out. So his plan was to gradually break Kimbo down, and in the beginning it was working. But towards the end, he just didn't have the gas in the tank to finish it out. And, one of the things that impressed me is that normally, guys who are used to fighting one style, no matter how you train them and how much you invest in them in terms of training, they go right back to that fight style that they're using, and it just doesn't go the way it's supposed to go because they're fighting just off one dimensional. One person that comes to mind is Rampage Jackson. Nobody knows this, but Rampage Jackson has a sweet, spectacular Muay Thai low leg kick. And he throws some really powerful liver shot kicks and head kicks. If you watch him working and training, he does that. But he never, ever, he rarely throws kicks. He's just stuck on that boxing. I love to knock people out. I'm Rampage the Banger thing. And he's stuck on boxing. And I was just expecting these guys to go in there and just revert to what they know. And just go back to that like street cage thing. But they put on the best MMA fight that they possibly could with the limited skill sets and limited time that they've been exposed to the sport in. So I'm proud of them. And hats off to Bellator for putting that on. Hats off to Big John McCarthy for keeping the fight on the feet and making Dada 5,000 work. Not making him use his body weight and just cruise by, and I appreciate that. And most of you probably disagree with me and say, well, the fight was sucky, they gassed out and all that type of stuff. But you got to understand, these guys are street fighters. You got to meet them where they are, with their skills and what they have. That's the best they could do. I mean, what were you expecting? I mean, come on. The fight was good. I liked it. It was a decent rumble. If anybody who are at home right now watching this on YouTube, think about this. If you got in the ring with Dada 5,000 or Kimbo Slice, could you have done better? Me personally, I say yes, I could have done better. Because I do got the cardio and I got more tricks up my sleeves that I could use. I may or may not would have gotten knocked out after some point, after the third round, I'd have gotten knocked out if I didn't submit Kimbo by the second round. I probably got knocked out by the third round because 235 pounds and I'm only 175 now. Dragging that around, clinching up with that, getting body shots, swinging, and I probably would get exhausted myself. So I mean, I give him some credit. Now, going up against Dada 5,000. Definitely, I'd submit him in the first round. That would be easy. Even though I'm only 170 and he's 265, and the reason why I say is that his blunt force trauma or black belt wouldn't work on me. I step out of the way, catch. You do even at old school WWE WWF World Wrestling Federation move, that leg trip, one foot on the instep, and then the other leg on the behind the calf trip up. Isn't that old WWE trip up would work on him? Trip him up, take his back, and submit him. So yes, but you gotta understand, these guys are street fighters. They're new to the sports. That's the best performance that both of them could put on. Even Kimbo Slice at the post-fight interview, he realized he has more work to do. He realized he has more endurance to do. They're gonna get better, guys. That's the best they could offer. So, for me, it was a good fight. Didn't cost me any money. I watched it and it was fun. So hey, that's my 2 cents, guys. I liked it. From the fight cheer, that's the best they could do, and I appreciate that. Peace out, guys.